Horror Stories in York, Part 37. 25th of September 1066, the Battle of Stamford Bridge. The Vikings had been victorious just 5 days earlier at the Battle of Fulford, but now their enemy, the Anglo-Saxons, were approaching their Viking camp here at Stamford Bridge, just 8 miles outside the city of York. Harold Godwinson, the Anglo-Saxon king, had been lying in wait in the south of the country after hearing rumours about a pending invasion by William, the Duke of Normandy. But upon hearing that the King of Norway, Harald Hardrada, had invaded the north, he gathered together his army and marched towards York in record time. Here, Harald Hardrada and his ally Tostig had arrived at Stamford Bridge on the 25th of September 1066. As the two opposing forces faced each other, a single Anglo-Saxon rider rode towards the imposing Hardrada and Tostig to negotiate. He offered Tostig the earldom in exchange for turning against Hardrada. When asked what Hardrada would receive, the rider simply replied, 7 feet of English soil, as he is taller than most men, implying that Hardrada would die in battle. Hardrada was amused by the rider's audacity, and as the rider returned to camp, he turned to Tostig to ask who that was. Tostig replied, "That was my brother, Harold Godwinson." And so the battle commenced. With the Vikings taken by surprise, they retreated across the bridge over the River Derwent. There is a legend that states that a giant Viking wielding an axe managed to hold the bridge himself, striking off 40 Anglo-Saxons with just his fearsome battle axe. But one Anglo-Saxon was sneaky enough to climb into a barrel, floated under the bridge, and with his spear thrust it through the wooden planks of the bridge, skewering the Viking from below. Now, with the Vikings slain, the Anglo-Saxons were able to plough on towards the Viking camp, sending them into a retreat. Hardrada and Tostig would not survive the battle. Hardrada would take an arrow to his windpipe, and Tostig would be struck down, thus ending the Viking kingdom of Jorvik. Now, Harold Godwinson would be victorious, and he offered a truce in exchange that the Vikings would return to their native lands, never to invade again. Of the 300 Viking ships that had sailed across the North Sea, only 24 of them would return. But Harold Godwinson, king of the Anglo-Saxons in Britain, would not be able to rest for long. The news that he'd feared now reached his ears. William, Duke of Normandy, and his Norman army had arrived at Pevensey Bay on the south coast, and he was making his way towards Hastings.